Hello, today we're going to be drawing the Roman Colosseum. There are two handouts that I can offer. The first one is a drawing of the Colosseum step by step from 80 AD, and the other one is from present day. So I'm going to walk you through how to do the 80 AD version, and I'm using a black oil pastel to draw this. I'm just following step by step by beginning with a straight line right through the middle of my paper. Next, I'm going to create some arch lines at the top and the very bottom of my page. And right in between the center line and the upper line, I'm going to create a curved line just like it shows on the steps of my page. Once you complete that, you're going to do the line on the bottom half as well. Just make sure you're paying attention to details or even reading the instructions on your handout. This will tell you exactly what to do. On the top 4 lines, not the bottom line, I'm going to wrap them around kind of like snakes. Next, I can connect them into being a full enclosed object. I'm going to go ahead and begin to add these arches, and I like to start in the center, add one right in the middle, and then work my way around that one. That way everything stays pretty centered on the page. Once you complete those steps, you can then begin adding squares on the very top part of the Colosseum. We are currently looking at step 4, if you're looking at your handout. Next, I'm going to add some little boxes right at the very top edge. This is just going to add some extra detail. Next, this is when things can get a little tricky. We're going to make these arches appear to be 3-dimensional. So starting from the center, I'm going to go from anything on the left side is going to have an extra curved line on the left. Anything on the right side will have an extra curved line to the right. The center arches will just stay the same. Now that my picture is completed, I can then move on. Some of you may want to create the present day Colosseum where it's kind of a little bit broken down, the way it would look like today. So I'm using my handout to draw this one. This one is a lot more complicated, so if you really want to challenge yourself in your drawing abilities, this would be the handout for you. I'm going one step at a time and really paying attention to details. Keep in mind, when you're using an oil pastel, you cannot erase, so it's very important that you go slow with your drawing and focus on exactly where you would like to place your lines. Now, just like the first one that I had drawn, I added some arches. And we need to make that 3-dimensional look, but this one is a little bit different looking. Just really pay attention to the details. When they are to the left side of the page, they will go to the left. If they're on the right side of the page, the arches will go to the right. Now I just have one last detail that you may notice on your handout, and it's these little dashed lines within the arches. Once you complete those, you're ready to move on. Now that you have your colored paper for your background, you're ready to start with chalk pastels. Now I do need to share these with the group because I only have enough per team. Using a green or blue chalk pastel, I'm going to create the horizon line. The horizon line is where the sky meets the ground. Next, I'm picking out different types of blues and I'm just adding that to the sky. I'm turning the chalk pastel on its side so it has a thick line. Some of these pieces are really, really big, and so you may just want to draw or color in some of the patches so they kind of fit in together. Then you can smooth it out with your fingers. Keep in mind, this is going to get your hands a little dirty, and you never want to blow the particles or dust into the air. You just want to tap them onto your table. That's what the cleanup crew person is for, is to wipe off your table to make it clean. Next, we're going to get our project out, our Colosseum picture that we had drawn, and we're going to crumble it up into a ball a few times, and then we'll be ready to cut it out. Once your cutting is complete, you can then glue around the edges. I don't mind if you use bottle glue or a glue stick, and we're just going to stick this down to the paper. Notice how I'm just patting the top and not rubbing. If you rub it, it will smudge the picture. Now I'm ready to glue down my tissue paper. With using a glue bottle, I'm just adding a lot of glue beneath of the Colosseum in swirls and then just crumbling up the tissue paper to add on the bottom. I did mine in a pattern, but you can do yours however you would like. This is your picture and you can design it as you would like. To complete this picture, I'm getting some green chalk pastels, and I am just adding some lines to create some grass. I go back in and I use different shades of green to add more depth and make it look a little more realistic looking. Make sure you fill this part in so that you can really fill in your picture. Since the paper is blue on the background, I wanted it to mostly show green on the bottom. Once your picture is completed, you can then use a marker to sign your name on the bottom. Awesome job, and I hope you enjoyed this project.